Hey everyone, another Star Wars Armada Explained here with Karnak. Today we're going to be looking at the weapons team card upgrade, Ruthless Strategists. Ruthless Strategists, how do you know it equips to the weapons team slot? You look in the bottom left hand corner, you'll see the icon there for it. This card costs 4 points. Ruthless Strategists reads, after attacking a squadron, you may deal 1 damage to a friendly squadron engaged with the defender. If you do, the defender suffers 1 damage. So the card is pretty much straightforward, but it does have some unique interactions I'll be sure to try to cover for everything. So let's say that this is an Imperial 2 class Star Destroyer. It throws 2 blue anti-squadron dice. So whenever you attack a rebel squadron, so let's say we're attacking this Y-wing here, you throw your 2 blue, and in this situation, we got a damage. So the Y-wing then suffers that damage. Then at your choice, because it's after the attack, you can decide, you know what, I'm going to deal 1 damage to one of my friendly squadrons that's engaged with that squadron to deal 1 damage. So I'm going to say, you know what, this TIE bomber, he's engaged. We're checking if there's engagement. He's in engagement because he's within distance 1. He's going to suffer 1 damage to automatically deal 1 damage to that Y-wing. And you can do that for each squadron attack. So as we go through here, for example, if I attack the YT and throw that situation, I dealt 2, okay. And then you know what? I'm going to give him another 3rd damage because he's engaged with my TIE bomber. My TIE bomber is going to take a damage. We're going to throw some damage over at that Y-wing. Up 2 damage there because these are generic, so they're not going to brace or anything like that. You know what? We're going to deal 1 damage to this bomber. Do another damage to that Y-wing. Shoot this other YT. And this situation up, didn't get anything. Now, the ISD is equipped with another card like Leading Shots, for example. It is so you can cancel 1 blue die to reroll any die in your attack pool. So you could, for example, reroll that die to get another hit, and then deal another damage to another one of your squadrons, because again, engaged to damage that YT. Now, for Biggs Darklighter, which is a rebel squadron, so Biggs has the ability that if a squadron with escort suffers 1 damage from an attack, he can move that damage from that one squadron to another squadron with escort. So for example, if I had shot Biggs and he had taken a damage, Biggs can move that damage from himself. Let's just say he's going to move it over here to that YT over here. But then if I still choose to use Ruthless Strategists and peg one of my TIE bombers here, it's an automatic damage to Biggs. It circumvents his ability because it's after the attack that you're doing this. In Biggs' ability, you can only move damage during an attack. It's the same issue, for example. Let's show here some of the squads with Scatter, for example. So I've got them marked up with the yellow dots so you can see the difference. So for example, if I had shot at Mauler Mythil, and in this situation, I got the accuracy and I got the 1 damage, so I pinked him for a damage. And now I can Ruthless Strategist, hit one of my own TIE bombers, and because this is made after an attack, it means it's after the spend defense token step. Mauler can't scatter that damage. He has to take the 1 damage direct. So Ruthless Strategist's very good against, squadrons with low health or squadrons that are otherwise good at negating damage. Otherwise, it's a great way to get stuff to stick, although granted, it's at the cost of your own bombers or your own squadron's health. So that's kind of a risk versus reward strategy there. One thing to note too is that you must be engaged with the squadron in order to deal damage to that squadron. So for example, if Mauler had been hiding in that asteroid field and I had shot him, I wouldn't be able to use, even if that TIE bomber was within distance 1, not engaged because they're obstructed by the debris field here. Or if the TIE bomber was on the opposite side of the ISD from Mauler Mythil, well, even if it was, for example, in range 1, here, I'll get these guys a little bit closer. Like that example, there we go, right there. So that's distance 1, or within, range one, but they're not engaged because the line of sight is blocked through the Star Destroyer. So you wouldn't be able to trigger that effect. Sienna, so all she does is obstruct. So if you're trying to attack Sienna, she obstructs. She's obstructed. So even though you could still, for example, throw one blue die at her, you can still trigger Ruthless, because Ruthless obstruction doesn't block damage. It wouldn't block the TIE Bomber's ability to suffer damage from Ruthless to then automatically deal damage to Sienna. So couple of some working parts to keep in mind here. Now, what are some other cards that can coincide with Ruthless Strategists? We've got Ordnance Pods, which is that card where you can make an additional attack after your ship has already done your other attacks. That coincides as well. So it's because it's still an anti-squadron attack. So that Ruthless Strategist works with that. Quad Laser Turrets also works with Ruthless Strategists. So quad laser turrets, that's the card where if you're defending at distance 1 and if the attacker is a squadron, your ship has counter 1. So again, this only works if the squadron is at distance 1 of your ship when it makes the attack. Like some squadrons, like Major Rhymer, who can attack at close range, can circumvent that. But anyone who's coming in to try to bomb you, like if these Y-Wings were trying to come in to bomb you, and they got within distance 1, well, then you can not only blast back with your counter, which the quad laser turret is the one blue die. Oh, it's a miss, but you know what? I'm still going to peg one of my TIE bombers to then peg that Y-Wing still. So Ruthless Strategist combined with quad laser turrets is kind of a great way to chew through some targets very quickly. Now, one of the weaknesses of Ruthless Strategist, though, is obviously if they target your squadrons and kill all your squadrons, then you kind of not left with anything to work with. But that is Ruthless Strategists explained. Thanks for watching.